On the 11th of April 1942, Captain Gerald Montanaro and Trooper Frederick Preece, both of 101 Troop of 6 Commando, embarked onto a motor-launched vessel in Dover, England, and set out into the English Channel. Their destination was the port town of Boulogne-Sur-Mer in northern France, where their task, codenamed Operation JV, was to infiltrate by canoe into the German-occupied harbour and place explosive charges onto a German tanker that was carrying over 4,000 tons of copper ore. Once this was achieved, the two commandos were to then exit the harbour, link back up with a motor-launched vessel, and return to the UK. Sailing out from Dover on the night of the 11th of April, the motor-launched vessel arrived at a point around 1.5 miles off the coast of Boulogne, from where Captain Montanaro and Trooper Preece embarked onto their two-man canoe and were lowered into the water. The two men then began to paddle under a moonlit night sky towards the enemy-held territory. On reaching the entrance to Boulogne's harbour, the two commandos observed a handful of enemy patrol boats guarding the entrance, whilst groups of German infantry patrolled the dockside and searchlights scanned the waterline, watching for any movement. Despite the large enemy presence though, Captain Montanaro and Trooper Preece skillfully manoeuvred their canoe into the shadows and were able to infiltrate their way through the German forces and into the harbour itself, from where they soon located the German tanker. Pulling up alongside the target, the commandos began to place 8 explosive charges onto its hull, each of which was set to detonate in 4 hours' time. However, it was as they did so that they realised that their canoe had been punctured and was slowly taking on water. Quickly, the two men finished up their task before pushing away from the tanker and silently making their way back to the harbour's entrance. Once again, Captain Gerald Montanaro and Trooper Frederick Preece remained undetected and successfully avoided all German forces in the area. The two men then paddled out into the English Channel, where they were picked up by the motor-launched vessel around 2 miles from the French coast. They then sailed back to Dover, which was reached in the early morning of the 12th of April 1942. Later that day, an aerial reconnaissance flight carried out by the Royal Air Force confirmed that the explosive charges had successfully detonated, as the German tanker could be seen wrecked in the Boulogne harbour. For their actions during Operation JV, Captain Gerald Montanaro and Trooper Frederick Preece would both be recognised with awards, with the captain receiving the Distinguished Service Order and Trooper Preece the Distinguished Conduct Medal. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so that you never miss one of my future videos.